pound beatdown for Boots Ennis. What heart shown by both men, but what pound for pound still.
He could have did it the first round, but you know he gets in there and like to play around a little bit. I'll get on him sometimes and start playing around like that.
And then in that third round, it seemed like Xander had a lot of success. I don't know if
y'all better look at the tapes again. Y'all talking a lot of success. They hit him like 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Did your instructions change after?
No, nothing changed. I wanted the Boots to go to the body more. You know what I mean? And use his jab more. But he was setting a lot of shots up too. You see the shots he was hitting with. You know what I mean? And I was telling him not to stay there, because every time you stay there, you hit him with a good shot. Xander grabs him. He holds him. You don't see Boots doing the holding. You see he can outbox him too. You saw what he was doing. When he was jabbing, how many jabs he was hitting with? You know what I mean? He can do that. But he's the fight. That's why these people come to see, man. He put on the show, man.
When the final bell sounded, it was clear this had been anything but an easy fight to judge. Inside the Barclays Center, few people seemed eager to rush their scorecards because neither fighter had completely taken control of the contest. Instead, the bout unfolded as 12 rounds of non-stop adjustments, tactical battles, and constant problem-solving, with each man searching for answers to the challenges standing in front of him.
What a great fight. You are a machine. Zayas, a little inexperienced, but you will be back. You're a great fighter. Let's make the biggest fight in boxing today. Virgil Ortiz, Boots Ennis. Let's go.
What do I think? There ain't nothing to think. It's a knockout.
No, but I'm saying like just of the fight, because it seemed like
whatever I say, whatever I say,
not that. He's just like, he wasn't ready, man.
whatever I say is not gonna benefit.
Yeah, exactly. You should have.
Congrats. Let's see him unified. Let's see. Well, he's unified now. Let's see him become undisputed.
Yeah.
Good job.
Are you proud of the way Xander performed?
No, I give
Definitely.
him props.
Heart of
He
a
was like
champion.
lion of heart.
He
Yeah.
showed, and his team was. They made the decision. That's it.
What'd you think about Boots' performance? I mean, he overcame some kind of hard spots there.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get up from the knockdowns. It seemed like he had Boots hurt like in the third, fourth there. I mean, did you think maybe
I was surprised that they let the fight go that long, you know, because I was really concerned about him getting hurt like that. But that's boxing, you know. Their corner decided to let him out. Thank God, I hope he's okay. And you know, there was times there that he could have turned it around, but I mean, tonight it was Boots' night.
Jaron Boots Ennis started the fight just as many had predicted, immediately switching stances, unleashing explosive combinations, and pushing Xander Zayas into making split-second decisions at a pace that very few fighters are capable of handling.
No, Xander, a good fighter. I like Xander. Xander, one of my guys that I like, man. That's why you see me hugging him. He's one of them top guys, man. To me, he's a good fighter, man. But I know he couldn't do nothing with Boots.
Do you think that now he can take his game to another level?
Man, I told you something. When y'all ain't see the best of him yet, they gotta bring it out of my son. You know what I mean? You see when he bring it out, he get nasty. He like to knock everybody out, but I tell him relax. Gotta relax. Take your time, man. You know what I mean? But he get excited, man.
It's not really about when you throw, you're gonna get hit. You know, he loves fighting. He's a fighter at heart. Like I said, with age, the older you get, the smarter you get, the more wiser you get. Then you realize, like, I take less risk and I become more of a boxer. He has that ability. But now he's young and he's in his prime. He's a dog. He likes fighting. He enjoys it.
What really stood out, though, was how composed Xander Zayas remained under all that pressure. Rather than getting pulled into Boots' fast-paced rhythm, he took every opportunity to slow the tempo, use his jab with purpose, and made smart adjustments that prevented the fight from slipping completely out of his hands. That constant battle of styles and tactical changes is what made this matchup so compelling from start to finish.
Just how proud of you as Xander, brother. You put up a tremendous
Yeah, I'm so
performance.
proud of him, man. He showed a lot of grit, heart of a champion. But I think the main thing that I loved about Xander is that he literally got the experience. He's got it down packed. When he got hurt, he was bouncing and jumping around, like moving his legs, waking him up. You know, but hey, it happens.
Showed tremendous heart, right? He kept getting up over and over. It was even stopped by the corner. It wasn't even him.
Yeah, he surprised me.
Yeah, no, but hey, you know what? That's boxing for you, but he shows that he's willing to go all the way.
Whenever it seemed like Boots was ready to seize control with his speed, creativity, and relentless offense, Xander responded with disciplined counterpunching and precise timing that reminded everyone why he is regarded as one of boxing's brightest young talents. Just when it looked like one fighter had gained the upper hand, the momentum shifted once again, adding another twist to an already captivating battle.
What were your thoughts on Xander's performance? You know, I mean,
I thought he did great. But you know, he still has some. How you doing? Nice to see you, bro. Yes, sir. I thought he did great. He did good. But you know, when you got 2 belts and you're 23, you can't really take a step back. You know, that's what comes with it. You got. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. You got 2 belts.
As the fight progressed, Boots started investing more heavily in body shots, delivering punches from creative angles that few fighters can produce. Xander answered by holding his ground with greater confidence, turning every exchange into a carefully measured risk. What made the contest so enjoyable was that neither fighter strayed from his natural style. Boots remained aggressive while staying under control, and Xander kept his composure without allowing caution to limit his offense.
You're a young champion, there's no turning back, so he did what he had to do.
talk about the heart of Xander. I mean, he kept getting up. Even the fight was stopped by his corner. It wasn't even like he, stayed down. He just kind of nodded, seeing his corner finish it.
Look, when you're a young fighter, you're going to go out and you shield. That's why people want to see young fighters fight, because that's the type of fight you're going to get. They don't want to see older fighters who just fighting for some money. They want to see that. They want to see somebody get hurt.
Maintaining that kind of discipline becomes incredibly difficult as the pressure continues to rise. By the championship rounds, the atmosphere inside the arena was electric. Every clean punch sparked a huge reaction because both fighters were creating moments that looked capable of deciding the round. At that point, the fight was no longer just about contrasting styles. It had become a chess match built on constant adjustments. That's one of the biggest compliments you can give both men, no matter who ultimately had their hand raised. This matchup answered questions that weeks of predictions and debates never could. One fighter confirmed that his explosive offense belongs on the sport's biggest stage, while the other showed that his composure remains intact even when the pressure reaches its highest point. Not every unforgettable fight ends with a knockout. Sometimes, two elite competitors push each other to levels neither had shown before. That's exactly what this battle delivered.
Oh, no. I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to bring out the best. You know what I mean? You know? But Pandora, I like Pandora. What other name? Pandora? I like to fight him. I think Ortiz. That'll be a good fight, Ortiz.
So Terrence Crawford, he was tweeting something after the fight, being coy, not commenting on it, but seeming to throw his version of some shade. I mean, what's your thoughts on?
I don't care what nobody say, man. Yeah. I don't care. That don't bother me. Just like when y'all talk, I don't care what y'all say.
Not even me?
I don't care what none of y'all say because I speak the truth. You know what I mean? You know, you don't see us cussing and calling people out. Tell me they don't know this, they don't know that. We don't do that. You know what I mean? We just come to fight.
Bozy Ennis stood ringside with the same composed demeanor he had maintained throughout fight week. Once the final bell rang, though, it was clear he had witnessed exactly the type of contest he had anticipated. He gave Xander Zayas plenty of credit, praising him as a true champion who embraced the challenge and never looked intimidated by the occasion. Bozy explained that this fight had moved beyond pre-fight hype and social media debates. In his eyes, it was simply two undefeated young fighters pushing each other at the highest level. He praised Xander's discipline, intelligent footwork, and ability to adjust throughout the fight, saying those qualities forced both corners to rethink their strategy round after round, the hallmark of championship-level boxing. When asked whether everyone had finally seen the best version of Boots, Bozy responded with a smile. He reminded everyone that he had been saying before the fight that there were still more levels to uncover. According to him, the biggest difference wasn't found in one spectacular exchange or a single highlight reel moment, but in the complete performance Boots delivered from start to finish.
I thought Rashidi was beaten, right? Well, Boots is no Rashidi, like I told him. I knew Boots was going to stop him. He could have stopped him earlier, too. He could have stopped him early, but he having fun again, you know what I mean? No, that's not, we don't do that all the time.
Did you expect it to be so one-sided, though, man? Okay.
Yeah. No, I did. The reason why I'm saying that because he's coming at us. He's one of them guys that he got to be set to throw punches. All you got to do is give him a little movement.
According to Bozy, the real difference came from staying calm while the fight kept evolving. He praised both men for never losing their composure, explaining that the ability to remain collected under pressure is what separates true champions from ordinary contenders. Bozy also dismissed the idea that size alone would determine the outcome, reminding everyone that elite boxing is built on timing, adjustment, and smart decision-making when the pressure is at its highest. He admitted there were several moments when fans throughout the arena probably changed their opinion of the fight multiple times because the momentum shifted so often. That, he said, is exactly what made it a championship-caliber battle and a great showcase of the division. Looking ahead, Bozy had little interest in discussing future opponents or calling out other fighters. Instead, he reflected on the performance itself, saying nights like this are the reason boxers dedicate themselves to training all year long. Greatness, he explained, is earned by stepping into the toughest challenges, not by talking about them. He closed by thanking the fans for being part of a memorable night of boxing and reminded everyone that the journey is only just beginning.
His power didn't change. Him was still strong. I thought we was going to, you know what I mean? His power was still there.
What did you think of his heart? He definitely has some energy.
Man, he's one of the best, right? He's one of the best that Boots is for, to me. Even though he couldn't hardly do too much with Boots, but he was there. And he was putting that pressure on him. And he was trying to fight. He wasn't like the one before last time that ran.
Okay,
yeah, you see what I'm saying? If you don't run, what's going to happen?
That brings us to Eddie Hearn's reaction, which shifted the conversation beyond the fight itself and toward the future of the entire division. While Bozy and his focus on preparation, adjustments, and earning success through difficult challenges, Eddie spoke about the bigger picture and what the boxing world had just experienced. He said this is exactly why the sport needs its biggest names to face one another. When undefeated fighters stop protecting perfect records and start pursuing true greatness, the entire sport benefits. What stood out most was that Eddie had no interest in criticizing either man after the final bell. Instead, he applauded both fighters for living up to the enormous expectations, saying the atmosphere inside the Barclays Center was a kind fans would remember for years to come. He even laughed when reporters brought up his confident pre-fight predictions, admitting that championship boxing has a way of keeping even the most outspoken promoters guessing until the very end.
You can have great fighters, but you need to put performances in on a stage like that, in fights like that, for me to be able to stand in the ring and say, I f***ing told you, this kid is the one. He's 27 years old. Now, you talk about these other fighters, the great fighters like, I don't know, Crawford. What's Crawford? 36, right? Who is amazing. Boots, Crawford, best fight in the sport. Unbelievable. But this kid's got so many gears and levels to go through.
According to Eddie, the fight was never defined by a single highlight or dramatic sequence. What impressed him most was how the momentum continued to swing over 12 competitive rounds. Every time it looked like one fighter had figured things out, the other responded with a new adjustment. In his view, that's exactly what elite-level boxing is all about, though he also argued that fans spend far too much time debating records and accomplishments online instead of appreciating what happens when top-level fighters actually meet in the ring. Eddie praised both men for accepting the challenge, saying too many marquee names avoid the kinds of matchups that fans truly want to see. Looking ahead, he said the junior middleweight division has become one of the most exciting weight classes in boxing because every champion, contender, and promoter will now be paying close attention. One unforgettable performance, he explained, can completely reshape a division, and he believes this fight accomplished exactly that. No matter what comes next, Eddie ended with one clear message. The sport needs more nights where the best fight the best, and far fewer reasons to keep those matchups from happening.
In there in the pocket and the movement, and it was getting better and better and better and more spiteful and more spiteful. Shout out to Marvin, the trainer, because you save a fighter from a horrific beating. And he was taking a beating anyway, but like, what's the point? His nose is busted, he's about to get knocked spark out, and it's like, the fight's over. And it's like, it's such a disheartening beating. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you can't have any joy. You land one and you think, and then all of a sudden you got hit by about 8 and he's over there. You know, he's such a brilliant fighter.
But while Eddie Hearn viewed the fight from a promoter's perspective, Shakur Stevenson focused on something entirely different. He wasn't discussing ticket sales, rankings, or the future of the division. Instead, his attention was on the technical details, the subtle adjustments that often go unnoticed while fans are caught up in the biggest exchanges. Shakur said the fight was a perfect example of why boxing is known as a sweet science, with every round becoming a battle of strategy rather than emotion. He noted that each time one fighter appeared to have figured things out, the other responded with a new adjustment almost immediately. To him, that constant back and forth is a type of chess match that elite fighters truly appreciate. Another aspect that impressed Shakur was how both men stayed committed to their own styles despite the growing pressure. He explained that fighters often abandon their game plans when emotions take over, searching for one dramatic moment instead of sticking to smart boxing. In this fight, however, neither man lost his discipline. Even when the pace intensified and the pressure mounted, every move and every decision still served a clear tactical purpose.
I thought it was an amazing performance. I thought he said something about watching Gotti versus Floyd in the same arena, and that was the kind of Gotti-like Floyd performance that I came here to see. I thought that was Boots at his best. He was having fun. He was sharp. People complain about him getting hit, but the only punch I really seen him get hit with was the jab tonight. So, truthfully, I thought his defense was really good, and it was a great performance.
Shakur admitted there were several moments that left even him impressed, as both fighters displayed outstanding timing, composure, and split-second reactions throughout the contest. He even joked that many fans watching at home probably believed they had the fight figured out until they realized just how quickly everything changed once the exchanges began. That's why he refused to judge a bout based on a few highlight reel moments. According to Shakur, the real story unfolded in the finer details: the foot positioning, patience, instant adjustments, and the confidence to trust instincts when preparation alone was no longer enough. Those subtle elements, he explained, are what truly separate elite fighters from everyone else. He closed by saying that nights like this raise the standard for every boxer chasing greatness. When two undefeated champions choose to settle every debate inside the ring instead of across social media, the entire sport moves forward. Whether fans enjoy speed, pressure, counterpunching, or pure technical skill, this fight delivered something for every boxing enthusiast, which is exactly why it will continue to be remembered long after the lights inside the arena have gone dark.
I knew probably around like the second round, I seen that the guy was in the high guard, and Boots shots come like 100 miles per hour. So with that speed, with that power, it was going to be hard for him to stand tall the entire time.
Greg Hackett's reaction took the discussion in a completely different direction. After hearing Shakur Stevenson focus on the technical details, Greg approached the fight from a much broader perspective. He almost laughed at the weeks of confident predictions leading into the matchup, saying this is exactly why boxing has a way of humbling everyone. No matter how much analysis takes place beforehand, the truth is always revealed once the fighters step into the ring. According to Greg, the biggest takeaway wasn't who landed the cleaner combinations or who edged a particular round. The real story was adaptability. He emphasized that once the original game plan stopped working, both fighters had to trust their instincts, adjust in real time, and solve new problems as they appeared. In his eyes, that's where true championship boxing begins. What made his perspective stand out was its simplicity. Instead of focusing on punch statistics or scorecards, Greg talked about surviving uncomfortable situations, recognizing patterns in the middle of the action, and making the right decisions before there's even time to think. To him, that's the difference between talented fighters and truly elite champions.
Boots been on what you would say a little bit of a roller coaster, a successful roller coaster, but a little bit up and down, because every time Boots fight, we looking for the wow, like we looking for that every time Boots fight. So for me, I knew the energy was gonna be up because this meant a lot to both fighters. So
Greg even joked that some fans treat boxing like a video game where fighters get endless chances to reset after making a mistake. In reality, he said, the ring offers no such luxury. One wrong decision can change the entire fight in an instant. He also praised both training camps, pointing out that you could clearly see meaningful adjustments being made between rounds rather than hearing the same advice repeated over and over. Those are the kinds of details casual viewers often overlook, but experienced boxing minds recognize immediately. What impressed Greg the most was how neither fighter allowed frustration to take control. Whenever it seemed as though one man was about to seize complete momentum, the other responded with another adjustment, another tactical change, and another reminder that elite boxing is built on constant problem-solving rather than predictability. Greg wrapped up his thoughts by saying that nights like this are exactly why he never rushes to declare anyone the best before the opening bell. In his view, talent may earn a fighter an opportunity, but composure is what keeps him at the highest level. After watching both men battle through every challenge the fight presented, Greg believed they had each proven they deserved to be part of every serious discussion surrounding the top of the division.
This guy really don't adjust. This guy really just want to get you. He want to beat you up. And that's his best attribute, is his determination. I seen him take some shots against Mastre, but deliver some shots. And what kept him confident with Mastre is the fact that he knew Mastre would be right there in front of me. So when I did my calculations, I said, Boots ain't gonna sit there. It don't make sense. It don't make sense to sit.
In the end, this fight delivered everything fans were hoping for and more. For weeks, the conversation centered around speed versus discipline, power versus skill, and youth versus experience. But once the action began, those comparisons became far more complicated. Both fighters answered plenty of questions while creating brand new ones, and that's what transforms a good championship fight into a truly memorable one. That this wasn't a night about protecting perfect records. It was about discovering who could make the right adjustments once the original game plan stopped working. That's a kind of competition that pushes boxing forward and reminds everyone why the sport is so captivating. Now it's your turn. Who do you think made the smarter adjustments? Which round did you give to each fighter? And whose performance stood out the most, regardless of who got the decision? Let me know in the comments, because this is a type of fight that will have fans debating for a long time. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more boxing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.